Hi everyone, it's Kai. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a brand new speed build video. Today we are going to be building a nightclub in Moonwood Mill, and this is a nightclub for werewolves, and it is a pretty interesting build. I really like how it turned out and I'm really hoping that you guys will like it as well. It is up on the gallery if you want to download it under my ID, which is simmerkhai, and if you want to download the tray files for it, it is available in my Patreon page, which is linked down in the description box below. And this build is just a simple build, but it is pretty nice. I decided to put in a lake around it. It consists of 2 stories, but only the bottom floor is functional, because the top floor is just consisting of like an overlooking thing or balcony from the inside of the club, so it is just for decoration purposes. Otherwise, it is just a fully functional club. I will be uploading the functional version, of course, because I haven't play tested this build yet, but rest assured everything will be functional when you download it. But anyways, as you can see, the structure is pretty simple as well. I decided to go with a rectangular box, and this is just a simple structure that I figured that looks best for this type of build, which is a nightclub. And I kind of pictured that it was like an old mill, since Moonwood Mill is a mill in it. So I decided to imagine it being like an old mill turned into a nightclub, if that makes sense. So it kind of looks like a factory build if you ask me, but it's more decorated and more lively in a way. I decided to use a lot of debug items in this build. So a lot of the debug items are basically just environmental objects. There are not much of clutter objects. I think most of them are trees and old stuff, like the sewer gate that you saw me trying to put just now, and a bunch of other stuff which I don't really use, honestly. But however, I think the debug menu is pretty sufficient for this build, and this build is pretty small in a way, but it took me quite a long time to figure out how to decorate it in terms of the exterior, because I kind of had trouble figuring out the color scheme and stuff. I wanted to go for a yellow door which has like a wolf sign on it, and I think this will be the door that I will be going with in the end. And I also use the colorful roof swatch that is from the new pack, which is pretty nice. It comes in 2 different swatches. One of the swatches contains skylights in them, and I think it's a pretty good detail that they included in the roof swatching. But anyways, I decided to also include a crane and also a lot of trash around it. For some reason, I'm not too sure why, but I think I will also be including a sign that kind of looks like it belongs to a diner or motel. And I will also be including the debug storage build or thing. I'm not so sure if you know what I mean, but you will see that after this. But I decided to decorate the lake around it to make it look like it's very, very worn out and not really maintained well. So I decided to put in a lot of bushes that are from the new pack. And over here, like I said, is going to be the storage thing, where I put a bar thing on it, which I saw in the trailer that came with this pack. So I try to follow it, and it seems functional, and it's definitely functional, of course. And yeah, over here I was just placing a lot of different items I could find on the debug menu. I'm not too sure what that thing is though, the rectangular thing with the door open. I'm not too sure what its functionality is. If you play the game, please let me know what it is, or if it's functional or leads to another dimension or something. I don't know. I didn't really play the Werewolves pack, so I kind of don't know what items function. And also, I don't know how to turn my sim into a werewolf. I tried to turn them into a werewolf, but I don't know how. How do you guys turn your sims into werewolves when you play that game? Because I tried everything I could find when I tried to do a bit of gameplay, but I just couldn't find anything other than doing specific sim activities like eating and showering and stuff and peeing on the floor or something like that. But over here is just going to be kind of of this walkway that I decided to put in and use the fencing tool which came with the new pack, which is like a prison type of fencing, if I'm not mistaken, or a protected type of fencing. It is like a steel metal fencing with it basically looks like the fence that you see in like prisons and stuff, with like barbed wires and stuff. So it is a pretty nice fencing, but I just don't know what to use it for, like other than building like industrial builds or like factories, abandoned factories, or anything. Other than that, I don't know. I don't really know like what type of build that fence would be suitable with. But over here, I'm just placing some lighting that I don't know which pack it's from, but I really like it. I also decided to use a tool mod to kind of raise these environmental objects, which are those veins from cottage living, make them look like they're attached to the deck that is floating above the lake. And I really like how it turned out in terms of the landscaping and stuff, and I'm really hoping that you guys will like it as well, because I think landscaping this item was a pretty nice moment or nice segment compared to like furnishing the items of the build, because I feel like landscaping is really fun compared to like furnishing builds. I'm not so sure about you guys, but let me know what you think about that. Like, do you guys prefer landscaping more, or do you guys prefer furnishing more? For me, I prefer landscaping and then furnishing. Furnishing builds is not my favorite, so yeah, landscaping it is. But anyways, over here you can see that I have started working on the interior of the build. I decided to make it like an observation deck for the second floor, and then like it makes it look like it has like plenty of space for your wolves to like dance on the second floor overlooking the first floor. And I also included like an industrial fan that came with the new pack as well. I think this is my first time using the fan, because in my previous builds I didn't use any fans at all. But it is just a simple nightclub with like a DJ booth, some posters, and like tables all around. I basically followed the requirements that you can see on the top left hand side of the screen, where there is an exclamation mark. I decided to just follow it with this menu and just, furnish it according to that menu. So it is like a complete nightclub, and to ensure that the Sims that come here have a really good time. But I really like how this build turned out from the inside also, because I don't know, it just seems nice with like posters and stuff, because I'm the type of person who likes to go to like not clubs, basically like concerts, where they hold it like in a like small room or something like that. Not a concert hall, it's just freestanding, and it's a small room. And I really enjoy going to those kind of venues, because it really feels lively, and at the end of the day it feels like I really had a good time, and I used my day very well on that particular day. I don't know if you know what I mean, but yeah, if you like going to concerts, like what type of concerts do you guys go to? I would really like to know, and yeah, be sure to comment on what type of concert you like to go to in the comments, if you want to, of course. But over here I was just placing some decorations, which I also included a little vending machine surprisingly, from the Snowy Escape pack, which I thought was pretty useful because it's a nightclub, and usually nightclubs in human life are like, they have a bartender and stuff, but in this case the bartender and the bar is like outside of the nightclub, so it wouldn't make sense for your Sims to like go out, walk, have a drink, and then go back in again. So a vending machine, I just put it in there just for convenience. But yeah, I think that's basically it for the whole structure and furnishing of this build. Over here I did like a double balcony thing on top and the bottom, and I filled it in to make it look like a lounge area, which I'm really happy about. I really think that the decorations that I did over here are pretty nice. Also, some veins crawling up the walls of the nightclub to make it more have that abandonment effect, if you know what I mean. But anyways, that will be the end of the video. I really hope that you guys will like this build. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And I hope to talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!